Okay, so we're gonna be getting live here in just a minute, letting people get connected on in the group, the members area, and on all the other channels out there. So stay tuned. Starting to stream here in a moment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring it in here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We have all the doctors. This is Synergy Solutions. We are live. Welcome aboard as I adjust a few things. And we have Dr. George, Dr. Vesna, Dr. Sasha. I'm Dr. Kevin. Welcome, everybody. And let's bring this up right there. All right, so everybody should be able to hear everybody. And if you can hear us, give me a thumbs up. Say hello in the chat. Say, yes, I can hear you in the chat. That'd be awesome. And what we're doing here is we have a couple parts where we focus on a little bit of conversation about what it is with remote healing, with distance healing. And we use a technique called Corn-specific technique as the backbone, the foundation of how we do what we do, how we know what to do and how to do it, when to do it, where to do it. It's a beautiful conversation. And if you're in the members area in the Facebook group, then you have access to some of the deeper content to explain some of this, even if you're just getting new to the whole world of this idea and thinking. Oh yes, we're getting some thumbs up. Thank you. So we were just talking before we got live here, and I dropped it right on the doctors here. I found this research article, and I'm going to share it with them again and share it with everybody at home. And the title of the article, now I'll highlight the discussion there at the bottom. The end result here is we're talking at 57%. Okay, we'll get back to that number 57 in just a second. Let's look at the title. The Efficacy of Distance Healing, a Systematic Review of Randomized Trials. So let's stop. I'm going to stop that image for a minute. Bring the doctors back in. So I'm popping a bunch of stuff on you guys all of a sudden here. So let's talk about research for a second. Studies, you know, how important that, yes, we are in this world of science. We are in this world of, yes, we want to be able to prove what people say and follow what they're doing and say, yes, this is a good therapy. Talk about research and the process. I don't know if anyone has dove into the process of research and what from an idea, from a concept, what it can take to get it into the conversation that the everyday kind of person is now saying, yes, it can be acceptable. It is acceptable. We see the data here. Anybody have a thought of what that is, or even the time it takes? Any ideas, docs?
Yeah, I'll say something.
Go ahead, Sasha.
Please.
That to a certain extent, distance healing is subjective, which is extremely valid. It's just as valid as objective. They have the same value to me, and it's very good that this is actually happening. Instead of it just going on in the behind closed doors. It's very good that it's being, it's starting to be put forward out there, I think.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see it happening, number one, just like you said.
Yeah.
And the subjective and objective, meaning, is it measurable? That's the objective. And the subjective is the one on the experience of the individual.
Yeah. And it's probably a qualitative research, which is just as valid as quantitative research. Yeah.
Yes. So that's the whole conversation of how science gets figured out now. George.
Yeah.
You were going to say something, George, please.
I was just going to say that what little I've read about it, like in the field, for instance, it takes a lot of work, a lot of, you need a good design for the study, and you need to do it over a long period of time with a lot of people, a whole bunch of times. So it's not like somebody takes a weekend and says, oh yeah, well, we proved this. It takes years, and sometimes years and years and years. So the fact that they're saying that there's some clinical validity to this, and we need to explore it more, and that it seems to work 57% of the time, that's no small thing.
Right. And when I dove into the article a bit, they used one specific form. They called it the hands-on something. And so for people new in the world of these holistic healing arts, there's lots and lots. Let's pull that article up again. There's lots and lots and lots of techniques. Let's see, here's the abstract. Okay, let's pull it up so everyone can see the abstract right here. And I'm wondering if they mention it, the name of the technique, because it was something I had heard of, but wasn't familiar with. And so to conduct a systematic review of available data on the efficacy, that word is so funny sometimes, on the efficacy of any form of distance healing, prayer, mental healing, therapeutic touch, spiritual healing. And they define these terms, and that's a very good and important part of the article is how they define this. And when it comes to KST, I know we have much more deep research. These people aren't even discussing what is going on in our field, and I got stuck in the almost able to put up the interview I did of, and please help me if I mention the name wrong, Dr. Richard Barwell of the Neuroinfinity. And I have a little mental block with that name for whatever reason, and that he runs a software / therapeutic measurement system that you would use in a clinic setting. So some type of instrumentation to measure brainwaves. And they did a test where I'm going to mention her name here, Dr. Ted Koren, when he was on stage, did a remote adjustment to somebody who was wired into this technology during one of the seminars. And I wanted to cue it up for today's talk, but I didn't have enough time to get it all in. But nonetheless, they measured the change in real time. They witnessed it. And I believe they've since have done other studies similar to that. And I now have access in my possession. I have one of those instruments that the plan is to have much more data going into feeding the proof of this that can be reproducible again, of course, in a much more appropriate clinical trials type of setting. But it's already being done in lots of ways. And when you go through this article, and I will post it within the members area, and if you're really intrigued, I will post it. I'm going to post it right now in the chat. And I think I have it right. Oh, excuse me, everyone. I pulled up too many windows. It's like bad live stream etiquette. I'm learning. So I'll drop this in the chat. Here it is. Oops. Here is the article. And that should get you there, hopefully. Yes, it is. The link is there. So everyone at home can, if you're watching this live, you can, or whenever you're watching on social media, you can click on that link, go to the article, read the article for yourself. This opens up great discussion, and in the Synergy Solutions Facebook group, and I'll drop it here in the chat for the doctors as well. Here's the link, docs. And so this is something I started to read through, and there's a lot of research that I know I've reviewed that I can bring into this conversation to talk about and basically go, here's how we're doing it, here's why, and then here's why we're doing it. I call that the rising tide principle. However, that means because we're helping you, it helps everyone. And I'm in that boat. I'm maybe in a different boat than your boat, but we're all riding the waves here of life. So that being said, thoughts, comments, doctors, what is, what's percolating in your brains about distance healing, remote healing, your experience here, and how can we relate some conversation to the people that are new, number one, people that maybe never seen this, number two, but people who are doctors or chiropractic who are watching this now, and people that are professionals watching this. So give me your thoughts on what comes to mind for you. Raise your hand if you want to chat. Yeah, George, you first.
Yeah, I wrote down some words as you were talking, in no particular order. There's evidence that it's real, and science is beginning to measure it, which is some degree of proof. This is not just all in your head. This is in the world.
That's right. That's right. Beautiful, beautiful. And Dr. Vesna?
To start remote work, it took me a while. So what I did was went to the other room and made an adjustment and muscle tested the person again, and I could feel the difference was obvious. So I'm thinking I would really love to participate if there was research with EMNG, with proper neurological testing. We compare before and after.
Yeah,
that would be really easy and simple.
Yeah,
and good way to test it.
Well, that's the beauty, and then of course there's all the deep study where at the far end of that you get I'm sitting in a Faraday cage and people are doing the whole magic, and that in many ways has already been done. And I've highlighted his material before. There's a book I referred to called Bridging Science and Spirituality, and Dr. William Tiller is the original researcher who I've come to find out. And if you're into personal growth, if you're into what some people call the spiritual sciences, there's a book called A Course in Miracles, and it's since the 70s, I believe. And the people who wrote this book, from what I understand, were interviewing Dr. William Tiller on his research from Stanford University.
Oh my God!
And this goes way back, and I believe, I may be mistaken on the logistics of all of it, he's one of the researchers that did all kinds of groundbreaking research on cell phone technology and all these metals and how they are used in our everyday software and cell phones and computers now. And so there's some big brains that are connected through this. And also through science, how we've really come to respect it in our era now. And reproducible good science, and that's a whole conversation in itself. What is good science? and then of course it's bridging this voodoo territory of spirituality and then science, and where that's been separate for so long now. And it's like truth is undeniable. What is this thing that we're calling spirituality? Maybe it's just another form of energy. You know, Doc, you were the first, Dr. George, you were the first person who mentioned scalar energy to me, and that term has been popping all over the place. And then Ted sent out an email about radionics. Now, people, I apologize if we're diving way deep here, though it's starting to put out these topics that have had little tendrils of amazing scientists, amazing doctors that have just taken a personal search and followed the trail. And that's what, I mean, in my opinion, what a good researcher, what a good scientist does, even at the detriment of that professional career. Some of them talk about, but they had the feeling, they trusted that intuition, and now we have science behind the science of intuition. Oh, it's so much fun, and we get to play with it, but be honored. But there's also this how do I say, respect and honor that I feel goes with it. But that's my take. So it's not the conversation I expected today, but it's been fun. So with that being said, now let's shift gears, because we've been about 15 minutes on. We talked about some information. I shared the link. Hopefully you're getting some value out of this, some insights, some wow moments. If you are, hit the like button, hit a heart, and that helps connect to more people. Share this with a friend or family member you have conversations with about the synchronicities of life. It's kind of like mother's intuition. How does mom know when I was doing something wrong? How did mom know when I was doing something right? It's just, the kind of thing. And you've probably even had, and docs, raise your hand if you had this experience. You thought about a patient. Oh, we have mother's intuition over there. But we think about a patient, and then they show up in your practice in a day or two. Yeah.
Happens to me all the time. Yeah. One turned up after 10 years recently.
That's amazing. So,
and I had their record card in my hand the week before.
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing.
And you're like, I wonder how they're doing, right?
Yeah,
exactly. And then everyone at home, whether you're in whatever profession you're in, you've thought of someone and you've run into them. You thought of someone, they called you at that moment. You thought of someone, and and before cell phones, it was like I would pick up a phone every once in a while, and the person I was calling be on the other end saying, "Hey, I'm just about to call you." So interesting. And that's how I've I essentially made it through 2020 is being interested versus being otherwise. We'll just say that. Yes. So let's dive into intention. So intention is the step before we actually do the work that we call healing. I've been calling it aligning. Essentially helping you express you, helping you become, what are we doing here? What are we doing, Sasha? What is the result of the session here in Synergy Solutions? Is it, what comes to mind? What word comes to mind, or what words come to mind? What's the result of an adjustment? What's the result of a case?
The result is the experience of the recipient, really.
Okay. The experience of the recipient. So that being said, those who are watching now, those who have tuned in, whatever time you're tuning in, be earnest in your approach here. Notice what you notice. Comment. Okay? That's your work, and it will help the momentum of whatever we're doing, because it gets exciting. Okay. George, what comes to mind? What do we do? What's the result of the work?
The intention I wrote for today was to better be.
Better be.
Yeah. So your body works better, and your body is a vehicle of expression of your mind. So that gets in sync. And if we take it to the vibratory plane, each individualized portion of the all that is has a unique resonant frequency. we're bringing people closer to that resonant frequency so they can better be themselves, which is a whole person.
Right on. Right on. I like the way you said that. I think that will be in the special cut DVD selection, Dr. George. However, yes.
Yeah.
And it has the comments, read them in a second. And Vesna, talk about what's the result? What's the result of adjustment?
What comes to me is support.
Support. Wonderful. So some of the comments in the chat are alignment, body, mind, spirit. Two words came to mind for me: harmony and coherence. It's like, think about that, and that's our intention today. I love it. And Sasha, with noticing the experience, it's ultimately that for every individual.
And accepting it for what it is.
We're all unique, and we're all going to have a unique experience, and as simple as that. So many words I could add to that, but simple is the way here. It's nice. So Dr. George, Dr. Vesna, Dr. Sasha, are you ready?
Yeah.
To provide. All right. So if you're at home, please take that nice deep breath, get yourself focused, set that intention, realize what we just talked about. Notice the mind, let that be. Notice the breath, bring it in, bring it out. Really get present. One of the things I discovered is that in my search for today's topics, about bringing in the resources to you, and we're releasing the resources to you, and we're facilitating the process, and you are it will be provided whatever is required for you today to result in the intention that was set. Okay, I think we are at a good place. Everyone, let's go ahead and begin. Yeah, we're going to send this out to everybody in the world. No need for any other marketing protocols. Deliver the care.
Thank you. Yeah.
Notice the thought. If you notice the feeling, just take note. Allow it to be. Allow it to shift. Allow it to move. Just notice. Okay, docs, if you're finished, give me a thumbs up. If you're still working, just continue. Everyone at home, take a nice deep breath in and out. Yes, we are complete. So go ahead and take another deep breath in and out. Come back to that physicalness that is here and now. And we're gonna review and debrief what we just noticed, found. And let's go over that right now. And Sasha, I'll start with you today. Tell me, what did you find yourself focusing on or noticing today, and any insights of that?
I didn't get any Reiki today. I usually do. I got initially the priority was aura adjustment, whole aura. Yeah. So I did that for a few minutes and then checked to see if it was finished, and it wanted some more, and it just wanted lower body aura, waist downwards.
Okay,
So
very interesting.
I checked that, and then that was finished.
You know,
So that's what I did.
Yeah, beautiful, and it so correlates with something I did and I noticed. I'll share with that in just a moment. Though it was the upper half of the aura, and Dr. Vesna.
Good.
Yeah, it was. It was beautiful. Oh, I'll tell you in a minute. It gets
Okay,
exciting. It gets
okay.
exciting. I know everyone's excited now.
Kevin's excited.
I am, because it's just a woven, beautiful tapestry here. Dr. Vesna, let's go ahead and hear what you have to find.
The emotion of dishonesty came up, and I worked on that, and that was all. Nothing else following that came up.
Wonderful.
And then I thought, oh, I'm not surprised. There's so much of it nowadays in the world.
Well, tell you what, we are waking up as a whole entire planet to things that were hidden before.
Yep.
And we're seeing things at a whole new level, regardless of where you are in the spectrum of research, homework, or just absorbing what's on TV somewhere or on your phone somewhere. And we're seeing information that is just wow. Well, to say that. So what's the answer? Well, we will become aware of dishonesty, and then we shift the energy pattern around it so that we can then find the solution, because new understanding is required to have a solution in our planet here. What's that definition by Einstein?
Can't fix it from where you got it.
Yeah, exactly. So that the quote is, I believe, can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking that caused it.
That's it.
Yeah. So, I guess honesty, integrity is the way forward. I like those ideas.
The best policy.
It is the best policy. It's, you know what, there's a very profound teacher in my life, and he would say it's the only policy.
Yeah.
Dr. George, what did you notice today?
Oh, some of the usual stuff. I started with heart, and then got both kidneys, the 4 hollow organs of the lower abdomen, and then both lateral ventricles in the brain, pericardium, and atlas.
And just so for everyone's reference, pericardium, George.
Yeah, well, here's the heart.
Yep.
The sac that surrounds it, the heart protector.
Interesting. And now, I just want to say, Vesna worked on the emotional patterns of dishonesty.
Yeah.
What do people do to get what they want in their hearts? Nah, it's like, look, I'm guilty as all good. I promise you, I'm guilty as anybody else out there. It's just very intriguing what's showing up. And Sasha worked on the aura at the lower half, and I had an amazing experience of the aura of the upper half. Just shining and shimmering gold towards the end.
Wow.
And it was just had him. Hopefully everyone saw my hands up, and it was just there.
Yeah.
And it was just the upper half of the aura just shimmering in gold. And I just witnessed it and facilitating it, expanding. And I had a spot on the cranials and on the C1 on the right, and for the doctors as a Blair listing.
Yeah.
And it was simple, though. It was simple today. And
Yeah.
yet there's all this power in it. So anybody at home wants to comment their experience, what they noticed in their own physical body, what they had ahas about, that would be a great time to mention right now. We do have a couple comments here. Yes, it is the only policy. And that's reflecting honesty. And let's see. Yes. Cannot solve problem with the same energy that came in with. So yes, we are in a time of expansion, a time of transformation. We see this, and I didn't, if you go into past episodes in the Synergy Solutions Facebook group, and I actually did a live stream, I believe. I think it was on that page where I went a lot more deeper into the planetary movements, the cosmos, and why that's important is they have all these electromagnetic effects on the sun and the planet. And we have some information and data and research about how that affects the human being and the human thinking. We had so we had some third eye buzzing commentary. We had some heartwarming vibrations comments. So this is very exciting. And thank you for your comments. I really appreciate the affirmation of what's going on. And I know these people are aware, they work with energy, and so I know they have a bit more of familiarity with noticing these things. And then I've worked with people that get changes but don't feel it. So it's like Sasha said, there's a subjective experience. Let's take in consideration today what you may have felt in your physical body, but also what unfolds in your life, what unfolds in the mind. And that's equally as on the table as a possible effect that you may experience. And hopefully today is a nice, easy flow for you, and you expand some good things. Okay, let's see. Any other thoughts, doctors, before we wrap up for today? No.
I had it earlier. Yeah, one. Just about people may want to check out Rupert YouTube videos by Rupert Sheldrake, and in particular, the science delusion. People throw the word science around a lot, and he'll kind of break down what happened to science in the last 50 years.
It is one of the most remarkable TED Talks I've ever seen. Yeah. I watched it a few years ago. It was pulled down off of the social platform there, and because of popular demand, it was put back up. And it is one of those kind of talks that the science is about to shift about what is real in this world and what has been shared, and what the common everyday person is belief about the nature of the human body, nature of healthcare, the nature of living well. And this is on the forward front wave of that. I'll say this is like a therapeutic intervention, the Synergy program that is based on I'll say I'm standing on the shoulders of great individuals, and we learned this from I'm writing an email this morning to people that are connecting with this group, and I wrote in there about basically we're putting credit where credit's due. I mean, Ted had figured something out in all his studies and hard work and drive and motivation. Really birthed a whole new wave of professionals that are just amazing people. I mean, look at the doctors here, just amazing people. And then whenever I go to a KST seminar, it's like, I don't know what to tell you. It's just such a warm and wonderful environment. And then we get to learn things. And if you're into learning, it's a great environment to learn too. Yeah. Thank you, everybody. Let's see. Any new final comments? Good. We are good to go for today. It's been another wonderful session of Synergy Solution Sessions. Get that out of my mouth. And the link is in the description. Click on that. Get over to the Facebook page. Get over and join in the program. There's three downloadable sessions. You can get more of that today, or you can drip it into yourself the next couple of days. And there's a lot more to come. So stay tuned. I'll see you next Wednesday at 12 noon. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for tuning in, Docs,
Thanks.
Dr. Vesna, Sasha, George. Appreciate you.
Thanks for your help.
And we'll see you next week. Blessings and best
Thank you,
regards.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Welcome, I'm Dr. Kevin Jr. This is the first introductory video in becoming your own healer.